So the first exercise is our half squat position, where we were grounded on the back knee and then just working through this ankle motion here. So what we want to do to make this a bit harder on the front leg is think about coming into knee over toe and then having a good wiggle side to side with the knee. As I do this, I want to make sure that all my toes and my heel are staying down on the floor, and essentially as my knee pulls out, I pull my arch up, and as my knee gets pulled in, my arch falls down. And I want to train that motion to be nice and limber and mobile. Every foot needs to be really good at being in a low arch position and really good at being in a high arch position. And if you struggle with one of these, this is often an excellent position to work on improving that range of motion. So then on the back leg, what we can do is think about really committing to sit our butt bone down onto our heel to allow us to really push into that toe extension at the back. So I want to maximize the joint angle, and then I want to take my weight onto that leg, and I can put as much weight as possible down through that toe, and your big toe really should be able to take your whole weight without too much protest. So then go back into that forward one again. Whole of the sole stays down on the floor, and the knee is driven through a side to side swiping motion in order to make the arch go up and down. Perfect. So switching over, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're squeezing into this flat-footed knee over toe position, and then we're guiding the knee to the inside to feel the arch go really low, and then we're guiding the knee to the outside to feel the arch get pulled up and get higher. And the fight here is to keep the big toe down on the floor as you're making that swipe side to side. And then again, I can sit that back into the back foot, heel contact to the back side, maximize the joint angle in the toe, and then take as much weight as I'm able to into that back toe position. Brilliant. Okay, so that's our intermediate versions of that half squat position. And now what we're going to do is combine the two exercises that we did in this half kneeling position in the last round. So rather than doing hip extension and then doing side bending, we're going to do both of those stretches at the same time. So I want to really make sure I'm in control of that pelvic scoop. So tailbone under, belly button up at the front, guts are on, butt muscles are on. From there, drag into a stretch down the front of the hip, and then from there, one hand's reaching up, one hand's reaching down. Good idea to just keep looking at that top hand, helps you keep your balance. Hand down onto the floor if you can, and then I'm just reaching up, pushing forward, maintaining pelvic position. Just going to hold that for 5 good breaths in and out. Nice long exhales. Wonderful. Back to upright. Switch the front leg over. Tuck the tailbone under. Slide into hip extension stretch. Hand up in the air. Bending over to the other side. Everything down my right hand side is getting opened up and stretched out right now. So I'm just going to stay there and breathe for 3 to 5 times. Brilliant. And any good stretch that's worth doing, it's worth doing at least twice. So once more on the side you started on. Tuck the tailbone under, slide forward, one hand down, one hand up, into side bend, look at the top hand. Hold for enough. 5 or 6 breaths. And back out. One more time to the other side. Big opening arch. Breathe into it. Relax. Exhale. Every exhalation is an opportunity to drop a little deeper into stretch. Keeping control of that pelvis position. We want to make sure we're not ever feeling it as a squeeze in the back and losing the intensity in the front part of the leg as we make the side bend. Wonderful. So we gel those two exercises together and we save a bit of time and we get more of our body opened up quicker. So now we're moving on to this Spider-Man lunge position, which we had one hand either side last time. This time we're going to go hand, hand, foot, so that I can drop deeper than just resting on top. So my first challenge in this position is to try and take the hand on the side that the foot's on the front on and drop that down to make elbow rather than hand contact for the floor. So I'm trying to get as deep down, elbow towards the floor at this front, and now my body's traveling past my leg on this hip and really stretching deep into the hip and the pelvis. So I'm going to get down into that position, hold that stretch for a few seconds, and then from there I'm going to unfurl and I'm going to push my hand up towards the ceiling. I'm going to turn my head to look at it, try and stay deep into back hip extension as we do so. Hold that for a few seconds, come back down again, and then follow that hand through. So I'm looking at my thumb, dropping my elbow down, really feeling a big old pull through this butt cheek here. And then when I'm bored of that, I'm going back up towards the sky, opening up through the rib cage, pressing the ground away with the hand that's on the floor, and reaching back as far as I can into spinal rotation. Brilliant. Back round again, and then what's good for the left is good for the right, or vice versa. So we're switching over. Again, it's a hand, hand, foot arrangement. Knee still down at the back, so I'm nice and stable on the ground, and I'm reaching this elbow down towards the floor as my first move to really deepen the stretch. And then from there, I'm going to take that hand and reach it round towards the ceiling and rotating through the mid-back, pressing the ground away through the grounded hand and opening the spine into rotation in this position. So here for a few breaths. And then down, elbow dropping down and low, and holding that for a few breaths. And I can just flow from one position to the other for somewhere between sort of 1 to 3 minutes in total. And whenever I'm bored of one position, I just move back round to the other position. For some people, one of these is easy, one of these is hard. Spend more time practicing what you suck at. That's how you get the most bang for your buck out of your mobility work.